A very good afternoon and welcome to the first weekend of October. A beautiful autumnal afternoon here at the home of the Italian Formula One Grand Prix, where this weekend we see the future stars of Grand Prix racing. This is the final round. We decide the 2024 Euro 4 Championship. Akshay Bora is the championship leader. Sorry, he's third in the championship. Freddie Slater is the championship leader from Yamakoshi and Akshay Bora, but it is the US racing driver, the German driver for the German team at US Racing, Maxim Rem, that is him to the bottom right of your screen, who will start from pole position in just a moment. We'll try and get a word with the German, the pole sitter in car 71, the title to be decided, of course, the first round at Mugello, and then the second round at the Red Bull Ring in Austria, and there's just a handful of points deciding the championship between the Englishman, the Japanese driver, and Akshay Bora, who dominated the first round of the championship at Mugello.
Your first pole position of the year, so can you convert it into a win?
I mean, obviously, this is a really hard track to be in the first position for, but I think the speed was very good, and I think we can keep the position, and I will try my best to win the race, of course.
Maxim Rem, the young German driver, a stellar karting career with both the Birrell Art Racing team, a few KZ races in WSK World Karting, and also some outstanding performances with Ricky Flynn Motorsport today. Earlier this morning, very early this morning, on what was still a damp circuit, Maxim Rem took his first ever Formula 4 pole position. Freddie Slater, though, who's wrapped up the Italian Championship last week, and in Barcelona, he starts back on the grid. He's back to speak to Laura Cola. He is the championship leader. Just repeating, there is very little between Slater, Yamakoshi, and Akshay Bora. Freddie Slater starts out at grid 6.
Are you thinking about the
speaking
series
with Laura.
title or trying to convert grid 6 into a race win?
Oh, obviously just trying to make this into a win. Obviously I want to do it the cleanest way. Obviously not be in the stewards room after this, hopefully. So no, we'll see how we get on, and hopefully it just means getting more points. I'm only trying to get as much points as I can without taking too much risk. So we'll see what comes into race 3. That's where it gets a bit more interesting. But for now, it's just focus on doing the best job I can.
Thank you.
Freddie Slater, the newly crowned Italian championship, winning last weekend, the penultimate round of the Italian series. That was at Barcelona, Catalonia in Spain. Starts out of grid 6. He is the championship leader. 94 points to Hiyu Yamakoshi, who did not have a good run in qualifying. He is second in the series, 83 points. And Akshay Bora, 78 points. Starts on the outside front row of the grid, which looks like this. The US racing drivers, look at that. 1, 2, 3, Maxim, Akshay, and then Jack, who won in Barcelona 7 days ago, starts out of grid 3. King Nakamura Berta, he starts grid 3 for race 3 tomorrow. This afternoon, he's out of grid 4. GMP from Sydney and Freddie Slater, the championship leader. Davide Ledini, a strong performance in qualifying. And then the Jamaican sensation, Alex Powell, out of 8. Dion Gauda, Emanuele Olivieri, that's the AKM Motorsport driver. Enzo Ye from Chinese Taipei, on debut in the Euro Series. The driver from Washington, D.C. for Van Amersfoort Racing. P12 on the grid for Hudson Schwartz. Behind him is another American, Everett Stack, Thomas Stoltemanis, Luca Visoriano. Had a strong run in qualifying. Grid 15 today, but starts grid 5 tomorrow for race 3. Hiyu Yamakoshi is alongside him out of grid 16. Remember, the Japanese driver, who's already won in the Euro 4 series, is second in the championship. Lucas Samalisto, Gustav Jonsson, the Scandinavians are next. And then Reno Frankot van the Netherlands. Ed Robinson back on grid 20 for the US racing team. Here's the Brit from Mallorca in Spain. Then we go to Ethan Isha, Andrea Kostic, the Serbian. Kabir Arnorag, tough run for the Singaporean in qualifying this morning. Bianca Bustamante returns to the Euro 4 series after racing in a couple of events in 2023 for the Art Grand Prix team. Mattia Marchiante, AKM Motorsport. The American-born Brazilian-Belgian Aurelia Nobels, Lynn Hodenius, Enya Frey out of grid 28. Maximilian Popov rounds out the grid, not setting a time in qualifying this morning in the PHM racing car out of grid 3. He did get a better run in qualifying too for race 3 tomorrow afternoon. The grid is set. The rain has poured down over the past 3 days here in the north of Italy. This is the first weekend of October. Thankfully, as you can see, the track is now dry. The sun was shining a few moments ago. It has disappeared behind the clouds here in Lombardia in the north of Italy, the circuit, which not only hosted the Italian Formula One Grand Prix, which was won by Charles, as you know, in the red car just on 1 month ago, but also since then the GT World Challenge. Fantastic event that was, the GT Open Championship racing here in a couple of weeks' time, and the final round of the Italian Series and the Monza Rally Show back in 2024 at the Temple of Speed. But for now, this weekend, it is round 3 of the Euro 4 Championship. 3 rounds for 2024. Mugello, the Red Bull Ring in Austria, and then here at Monza to decide the championship, which was won in 2023 by the McLaren junior Ugo Ugachukwu, who took last year's title ahead of the Australian James Wharton. And Akshay Bora, that is the American Singaporean out of Grid 2. He was 3rd in the series in what is almost certainly his penultimate Formula 4 race. Younger brother of Nikhil Bora, Formula Regional driver with the Trident team, just 1 round to race for the Formula Regional European Championship. That is here at Monza in 3 weeks' time. We wait for the cars to set off on the formation lap. The grid is set, 29 cars on the grid. The green flag flies in the formation lap for race 1 of 3 here this weekend. This is round 3, so it is a 3-round, 9-race series for 2023. Mugello in Tuscany, the event which was dominated by Akshay Bora. The Red Bull Ring in Austria, the previous round of the championship, where Freddie Slater took 2 victories, actually crossed the line in P1, but a controversial penalty in race 3 dropped him down to P2. Hiyu Yamakoshi inheriting the win to put him 2nd in the series. So a 9-race series, no dropped rounds, no dropped races. Thankfully, that makes it quite clear. There's Bianca Bustamante going through and her teammate, Aurelia Nobels. The Art Grand Prix team back in the Euro 4 series. Just checking the championship point score, just repeating. Freddie Slater, it is a Grand Prix point scoring system, of course, so 25 points for the win. Freddie Slater on 94 points, just 11 ahead of Hiyu Yamakoshi on 83 for Van Amersfoort Racing. Akshay Bora, who starts best on the grid of the title contenders, on 78 points. Gustav Jonsson on 54, and Thomas Stoltemanis, the former Rotax World Finals Grand Champion, the Latvian P5 in the championship, on 52 points. Kin Nakamura Berta, here's the first of the rookies from Thomas and Maxim, Alex Powell and Maximilian Popov in the rookie standings. You can see the weather. Well, you just saw the graphic a moment ago as Maxim Rem slows the field down going into Ascari. The rain, which has poured for the previous 48 hours, eased up yesterday evening. The track is dry. It is starting to rubber in. Thankfully, we've got the final round of the Italian GT3 Sprint Championship racing here this weekend. There are the new look curves, by the way. Barely a centimetre raised. Super fast down through Ascari. So yes, the 51 GT3 Championship cars racing in the Italian Sprint Series, starting to rubber the track in. There is the sunshine, which I told you about. There is the championship standings. Freddie Slater, grid 6, the championship leader. Hiyu Yamakoshi, way back on the grid, 2nd in the series on the 8th row. And Akshay Bora, front row for the championship contender, 78 points. Coming into the Michele Alboreto Parabolica, the circuit which was built in 1922, 102 years ago. There is Luca Vistoriano for the Real Racing team, just lining up behind Thomas Stoltemanis, who is still 5th in the championship and certainly can still take out the title. The shadow's getting longer here, the first weekend of October, here at the home of the Italian Grand Prix. This is the Temple of Speed. This is Monza. This is race 1, round 3, the championship decider, the 2nd running of the Euro 4 Championship, presented by WSK Promotion, together with the Automobile Club of Italy. The German driver, the German team on pole position. Maxim Rem, first pole position. Grid 1, car 71. The US racing drivers, 1, 2, 3 on the grid. It is Maxim, Akshay, and then Jack, who took victory in Barcelona 6 days ago. Starts out of grid 3. Alpine F1 Junior Academy driver King Nakamura Berta, first in the rookie standings. That is Hiyu Yamakashi, second in the championship. Gustav Jonsson, fourth in the series, just behind in car 36. The final round of the second running of the Euro 4 Championship here at the Temple of Speed. This is Monza. This is the home of the Italian Formula One Grand Prix. And it's the German driver for the German team, Maxim Rem, for US Racing on pole position. The green flag flies at the back of the grid. The 5 red lights. Race 1 of 3 here this weekend at Monza. We race. Great start from Jack from the inside second row. One car has stalled. It's one of the VAR cars, thankfully avoided by the rest of the pack. As Maxim Rem goes down the inside, the US Racing drivers tried to go 1, 2, 3, and 4. Locks up, big crash down the inside. It looked to be Gianmarco Pradel. The US Racing drivers were 1, 2, 3, 4 airborne as 3 cars take the cut through. It was Jack Beaton. Incredibly, he's continued on and the car looks undamaged. They race through Curva Grande, the big curve for the first time up towards the Rocha chicane. Maxim Rem from pole position, the German leads as the field goat racing into turn 1. Nakamura Berta, grid 4, stays P4. Great start from Vistoriano. As we see one of the Art Grand Prix cars go straight ahead through the chicane. Crash into the wall. One of the Gensa cars, it looks to be a US Racing car. Fortunately at low speed. Bianca Bustamante into the gravel. She brings it back onto the circuit, thankfully in time because the safety car has come out onto the circuit. It was Pradel who smacked the wall big time. Gianmarco Pradel making up positions. We'll try and bring you a replay imminently. A big crash has eliminated Hudson Schwartz, the American. There is the Gensa Motorsport car. So there's Gianmarco out. Reno Francot also has retired. The Dutchman out. Wow, what a start to the afternoon. Maxim Rem, Jack Beaton, Akshay Bora, still the US Racing drivers, 1, 2, 3. But that is of secondary importance at the moment. There is race control. Mr. Giancarlo Minardi to the right, the former Grand Prix team owner of his own name. Also one of the Art Grand Prix drivers. Caught up in that incident as well. Sorry, one of the R-Race GP drivers. Ed Robinson also. Pradel is out. Summerlisto it was. Luca walking on back. Starts grid 5 tomorrow, but picks up nothing after racing only barely 1 kilometre here this afternoon in race 1. The safety car out onto the circuit. The crash between Robinson, Francot, Luca Summerlisto and Gianmarco Pradel. This will take some time. That was a big impact, fortunately, at relatively low speed. Ram is the race leader from Beaton. Border. Powell just got by his Prema Racing teammate, King Nakamura Berta. Slater, P6, grid 6, from grid 6. The championship leader from Larini, Gauda, Olivieri and Enzo Ye. This is what happened off the start. You can see Pradel down the inside, airborne. He must have had at least 1 metre of fresh air beneath him. Down into turn 1. Damage to the left rear as soon as he hit the ground. Smack with his teammate, with his countryman, in fact. Jack and Gianmarco, 1-2 in Barcelona 6 days ago, and they crashed down into the first corner. Their teammate led, and then this happened. Reno Francot, Luca Summerlisto, and Robinson it was. So 2 US Racing drivers out in 2 separate incidents. Pradel at the first corner, Robinson coming together. Ed with Reno Francot and Luca Summerlisto coming up to the first Lesmo chicane. The US racing drivers 1, 2, 3 in the opening stages of race 1, but they've lost 2 of their drivers in Ed Robinson and Gianmarco Pradell. So the order is Max in from pole position. Jack Beaton, who came together with his countryman, with his fellow Australian, with his US racing teammate, Gianmarco Pradell, as Reno Francott's car is lifted out of the way. That is the car of Ed Robinson just ahead. Border in 3rd place, Powell in 4, Nakamura Berta, Slater started grid 6 and the championship leader is still in that position. Lorini, P7, he starts pole position incidentally tomorrow for race 2. Dion Gauda, Olivieri up into P9 for the AKM Motorsport team, and Enzo Ye in P10. Stolchemanis, Vis, Soriano, Luca with a storming start in P12 ahead of Yamakoshi. Second in the series is the Japanese driver Everett Stack, Kostic, Anurag, Isha and Frey, the Jensen Motorsport drivers. The 2 remaining Jensen Motorsport drivers pop off from the back of the grid. He's up into 19 from Marchiante, Bianca Bustamante, Aurelio Nobels, Lynn Hodenuis, Hudson Schwartz, and Gustav Jonsson. 4th in the series, but it was Gustav who stalled on the grid. It may have actually done the Swede a favour because he has avoided the carnage going into the Lesmo chicanes. Gustav Jonsson, P25, but still in the race. The car is undamaged, and the same cannot be said for 2 of the US racing drivers, Robinson, Pradell, along with Francot and Samalisto. Down the inside, you can see Border locked up. Jack went straight ahead into Gianmarco. He was already out. Watch the left rear of Gianmarco's car smash into the ground. Damage to the left rear. 4 US racing teammates, 1, 2, 3, 4. Only 3 of them come out of there, and then Ed Robinson can see damage to the left rear instantly. Jack straight through the chicane. Into the wall goes Gianmarco, and then this. Ed Robinson, it looked as though he was helped. Luca Samalisto with nowhere to go, and the same can be said for Reno Francot. There may well have been another driver involved in that. This is Hiyu Yamakashi from Japan, who won the last race of the championship, the 3-round series at the Red Bull Ring. Hiyu Yamakashi, 2nd in the series, has made a reasonably good start just by getting through the carnage. That's a good start in itself. Yamakashi 13th from Everett Stack, the championship contenders. Slater P1, Yamakashi 13. And Akshay Bora, he's still in P3. That incident from race control is, of course, under investigation. Now, race director, Mr. Alessandro Ferrari, watching on from race control here at Monza. At least another lap from, or behind the safety car, this world-class team here at Monza. Very busy towards the end of the year, of course, with the Italian Grand Prix, the GT World Challenge, the forthcoming GT Open, and the final round of the Italian Series, the Monza Rally Show in early December, where the track will be freezing, formerly a round of the World Rally Championship. But for now, it is race 1 of 3, the Euro 4 Series. Here at Monza, a controversial start. We lose 4 drivers, 2 US racing drivers, Robinson and Pradell. They were out in separate incidents. Ed going out with Reno Francot, and Luco Samalisto with nowhere to go, the RSGP driver. As the field go up through Curva Grande. The big corner, this is the Rogier chicane behind the safety car, which has to keep a consistent pace between 60 and 80 kilometres an hour. We're waiting for word from race control. Hopefully the track can be cleared imminently and we can get back to racing. Although, as I say that, you can see Robinson's car is still on the circuit. There is a cut through there. So hopefully Robinson's car can be dragged behind the guardrail and we can get back racing soon. This is Jack Beaton, race winner in the Italian Series in Spain 6 days ago. For the first time after 10 second places so far this year. He is the Southeast Asian champion in the Formula 4 Series. Bianca Bustamante going through. She's in car 4. Aurelia Nobels in 57 for the Art Grand Prix team. Coming up to 1/3 race distance. We'll take this moment to wish all the best to 2 of our regular drivers not racing here this weekend. Rashid Al-Daheri, mate, we wish you back. We hope to see you back for the final round of the Italian Series, and also to Alexander Savinkov, the AKM Motorsport driver. Both of those drivers, incredibly ill and unable to race here and be at the circuit this weekend. So Rashid and Alexander watching on live from various places around the world. Guys, we wish you all the best for your recovery and hope to see you back on track for the final round of the Italian Series, even if you have been forced to miss the Euro Series final. Rashid Al-Daheri, of course, 2 victories in the United Arab Emirates Formula 4 Series, which was won by Slater, looking to take his 3rd title of 2024. Hudson Schwartz in car 2. 2nd race in Europe for the American, coming from the US Formula 2000 Series. It looks as though one of the Art Grand Prix cars, or the remaining driver for Art Grand Prix, P10 for Enzo Ye, has got a problem. Slowing on the back straight, going down into the Parabolica. Enzo Ye, P10 in car 77, the sole remaining RHGP driver, with a problem as the safety car leads them around another lap. The first third of this race, inevitably, frustratingly, under the safety car after a big accident in the opening stages of lap 1, race 1, the Euro 4 Series final. So hopefully we can get back going at racing again at the end of this lap as we tick up to the 12-minute mark. 30 minutes plus 1 lap race. Down through the first chicane. Safety car conditions here. Fortunately, we are expecting a dry circuit tomorrow also for races 2 and 3 to decide the second running of the Euro 4 Championship. And finally, we get news from race control. The safety car is in at the end of this lap. Thank you for staying with us. A frustrating start to the weekend opener. There's the graphic confirming at the bottom left of your screen. Safety car in at the end of this lap. We will race back green. Still the US racing drivers, 1, 2, 3, but they have lost 2 of their teammates. Pradell out at the first corner. Robinson only half a mile further down the road. Reno Francot, innocent victim in that first lap accident, as was Lucas Samalisto. The RSGP driver is out. Enzo Ye, that was strange. He's still circulating. Has dropped 2 positions behind the safety car. Stolchamanis and Vistoriano were cautious to go by. The driver from Chinese Taipei, he's still in P12 ahead of Yamakoshi, Stack, Kostic, Anodag, Isha, Frey, the remaining Gensa Motorsport drivers as the safety car accelerates. It is up to Maxim Rem to lead the field away. There is Luca. Also Ed, 2020 Spanish kart racing champion, the Brit from Mallorca. And Reno Francot still with the helmet on. Happier memories for the Gensa Motorsport team who won the 2016 Italian Championship when the Argentine Marcus Siebert beat the German Mick Schumacher to the 2016 Italian National Series. Not a happy afternoon for the Swiss team, with Reno Francot out on the side of the circuit. There's Gustav Jonsson, car 36, still 4th in the championship. First in the series is Slater back in P6. Second is Hiyu Yamakoshi back in 13, and Akshay Bora drops 1 position off the start, but is still 3rd as the green flag flies now on the start-finish line. Maxim Ram backs the field up. He's in pole position, so to speak. P1, he dictates the pace, must keep it consistent between 60 and 80 kilometres an hour. The green flag is flying now. They cannot pass until they cross the start-finish line. Maxim Rem controls the pace, Beaton right behind, and now Rem goes. He accelerates, the green flag flies, and finally, we are racing legitimately here at Monza. Let's hope, let's pray for a clean start as the US racing trio go 1, 2, 3. They race down the straight as we look for Powell trying to get by Border. The US racing drivers go 3 wide across the line. Beaton has taken the lead. The question is if he got by after the start-finish line. And the Queenslander down the inside. Super restart for the Prema driver as Enzo Ye goes straight ahead through the first chicane. Jack on the attack. He leads it. Powell around the outside. The Jamaican is a sensation here this afternoon. Trying to break through, not for the rookie race win, but for the outright victory, and he may well do it. He is surrounded by drivers from the German US racing team. Nakamura Berta down the inside, retakes his teammate as we see one of the PHM cars go straight ahead through the Russia chicane. I'll remind you, that used to be nothing but once gravel. Powell with a great restart. There's the Mercedes AMG Junior King Nakamura Berta, the Alpine F1 Academy Junior, and right behind the Jamaican is the series leader, Freddie Slater, looking to take his 3rd Formula 4 championship of 2024. The Prema trio, Powell, Nakamura Berta, Slater. But it's Jack on the attack. The Queenslander leads down into the Ascari chicane. Right behind him is Akshay Border and then King Nakamura Berta. Larini is flying. Davide Larini from Tuscany, who starts pole position for race 2 tomorrow as the Van Amersfoort racing drivers, Gustav Jonsson and Lynn Hedenius, round out the field in positions 24 and 25. Look at the lead from Beaton. Maxim Ram from pole position has been mauled. He's back in P9. He was almost in the grass. Olivieri around the outside. The AKM Motorsport driver, as you look at the Prema duo. Powell, Slater, what about Dion Gowda? The Singaporean up into P6. Enzo Ye sends it down the inside. Jack Beaton, though, with 1.5 seconds over his teammate. They're 3 wide. They're 4 wide. They're almost 5 wide. Beaton from King Nakamura Berta and Akshay Bora in P3. Shooting straight ahead. Again, the chicane, which used to be nothing but a sand trap, allows drivers to controversially go straight ahead. Jack Beaton will concentrate on the Australian, looking for his 2nd victory in 6 days. He looks good out front. There's Bora on the inside of King Nakamura Berta. Slater's gone around! Freddie Slater! The championship leader out of position 4. Unless it was his teammate Dion Gowda, we wait. There's Alex Powell. No, with Dion, it was Slater. Oh boy, this championship has been blown wide open. Surely he had damage. That's a corner where drivers don't traditionally spin. He's gone around. There's his teammates going on through King Nakamura Berta. Up the inside. Slater has gone around seemingly by himself. Surely he had some sort of failure on that car. That is not a mistake that the newly crowned Italian champion would make. Luca Vistoriano into the gravel with a damaged front wing. The Romanian, as we look at Rim in the grass. Now it is on. I told you the Monza Rally Show races here at Monza. You'd be forgiven for thinking it has started early. Maxim Ram, wow. How did he hold on to that? Larini around the outside. Olivieri's having a fine run, but Jack has left the building. Beaton is over 2 seconds clear of Nakamura Berta, Border, Powell, Gowda, Rem, Olivieri, Thomas, Stoltomanis, Larini and Yamakoshi. 2nd in the series has dragged himself inside the top 10. Look at the lead from Jack Beaton. Border, Nakamura Berta, they're still 4 wide at the exit of the chicane. There's Border. Fending off from King Nakamura Berta. Alex Powell has got Gowda, Rem, Olivieri right behind him. Freddie Slater has crossed the line in position 24. This racing was too frantic to continue on green. And you can see in the background we have lost into the gravel Maxim Rem. It started so promisingly for the German from pole position. The car looks reasonably straight. Was mauled off the start as we see Larini. In fact, Everett Stack into the gravel. Does well to bring it back on track, does the American. Maxim Rem into the gravel, and the safety car comes out onto the circuit for the second time today, eroding the 2.5 second lead that Jack Beaton had over Akshay Bora and Kin Nakamura-Berta. Luca Vistoriano with a damaged front wing. Freddie Slater comes across the line in P21. Marchiante in the second AKM Motorsport car. In P23, it looks as though he's got damage. That's his teammate, Olivieri, in car 73 for the AKM Motorsport team of Andrea and Maggie Antonelli. Olivieri, P6 in car 73. He's just behind Larini. Vistoriano into the gravel, already with a damaged front wing. There's Popov on the inside. He skips on through Maximilian from the back of the grid. Popov up into P17. Vistoriano goes rallycross. The front wing is destroyed as it's thrown back onto the middle of the circuit. Watch this. Ram almost into the wall. How did he hang on to that? Surely there was damage. Locked up going into the Parabolica. There's the front wing of Luca Vistoriano being thrown back onto the circuit. Luca, who will start grid 5 for race 3 tomorrow, has just pulled into the pits though. And this is the moment. Maxim Rem buried into the gravel at the exit of Curva Grande. Will go back half a lap, put 2 and 2 together. Hopefully it does not equal 5, but almost certainly it was a puncher that ended the Germans' race. This is Everett Stack, the second American, or 2.5 American drivers in the race. There's Luca Vistoriano, the Real Racing team. First year in Formula 4 car racing. Luca, stunning performance in qualifying, but his race looks as though it has ended early. Maxim Ram, almost certainly. You saw him lock up going into the Parabolica. There's his car being dragged away. So most likely a puncher to, it looked as though it was the left rear. As the car got light down into the Parabolica, into Curva Grande, he turned in and the back went around on the German, who started from pole position for the first time in his car racing career. Maxim Rem walks back to the pits, and the US racing team, they started with 6, they're down to 3. Robinson is out, Rem is out, Pradell was out of the first corner, but they still lead the race with Jack Beaton. Akshay Bora, second in the race, third in the championship, and getting valuable points because Freddie Slater, he went around as well. He's crossed the line in P20. Championship implications. Freddie Slater, as the safety car, we're being told, will come into pit lane at the end of this lap. So it will be up to Jack to dictate the pace. Freddie Slater, position 20 after going around into the Rocha chicane. Jack Beaton, Akshay Bora, Kin Nakamura-Berta, Alex Powell. The latter two, first and second in the rookie race, but they're fighting for the outright victory. There's Lynn Hadenuis going through behind Freddie Slater in 27. Lynn in 88 for Van Amersfoort Racing. Ladini, car 16 for the PHM Racing team. The golden cars, and they are quick here this weekend. Ladini, pole position for race 2 tomorrow. P5 at the moment, ahead of his countryman Olivieri. It's the Australian P1, the New Yorker in second, and from Tokyo in Japan, Kin Nakamura-Berta in third place. Race 1, round 3, the Euro 4 Championship. The Queenslander for the German team here in the north of Italy. The final round of the Euro 4 series, Jack Beaton, P1. The restart, Jack Beaton with 5 minutes 50 remaining. He waits to the last possible moment. Akshay Bora fighting for the championship. The green flag is flying. We wait. Jack dictates the pace. And now he goes. Akshay Bora follows him on through. Watch for Powell in 4th place. We race to the checkered flag. Beaten with a perfect restart. Down into turn 1, covers his line. Back to Bora. Nakamura Berta around the outside. Jack locks up. He goes straight ahead. He throws the lead away. Ladini goes around. Carnage at the restart. Jack has gone straight ahead. 5 minutes remaining. Jack is still in the race lead. This is controversial. It's not for us to decide. We wait for word from race control. At the moment, car 45 in P1. Larini stranded at the exit of turn 1. Enzo Ye goes straight ahead. This is one of the messiest races we've seen in recent Formula 4 history. As Freddie Slater tries to make up positions, he's into 17th. He's just taken the American Hudson Schwartz. Out of Lesmo 2, Beaton, Porter, Nakamura Berta, Powell, Gelder, Yamakashi, Stoltemanis, Olivieri, Enzo Ye, and Andrea Kostic from Serbia, now inside the top 10, into Ascari. You can hear the gravel being thrown up by one of the Van Amersfoort racing cars. Just going through Everett Stack, Bianca Bustamante, Lin Hodenuis, the Dutchman, who has not had the best race in his career, as Nakamura Berta locks up in P4. Just under 4 minutes plus 1 lap remaining. Jack Beaton with the race lead from Border. Powell now up onto the podium is the Jamaican, who sets a 154.615. Turn 1 under investigation. The incident between Larini and Yamakashi. Jack goes straight ahead again. He's off the road. Jack Beaton, who was dominating before the safety car came out, looking for his 2nd victory in 6 days, but now here comes the Jamaican sensation. Alex Powell, the Mercedes AMG Junior, sends it up the inside. He goes wheel to wheel with the championship contender, Akshay Bora, who's got the inside line. We watch for Slater in the background. He's up into 15th place. The fight for the lead. The race victory. Jack Beaton under attack. Back into P3 with Dion Gowda breathing down his neck. Yamakashi, Nakamura Berta, Stoltemanis, Olivieri, Ye, Kostic, the Serbian still in P10. Nakamura Berta trying to bring it home. You can see without the front wing, it's gone. Olivieri trying to make up positions. And Stoltemanis, Thomas, right behind Border. They run over the debris. It is littered around the circuit. Powell in 2nd place, Beaton. Yamakashi, the championship contender. Just to step off the podium as Freddie Slater comes through behind Kabir Anurag, who's had a good drive, incidentally. The Singaporean has kept his nose clear, but he's got Slater behind him. Look at that, the championship contenders as Alex Powell around the outside. Can't realistically take the title, but he can take his first outright race victory in European Formula 4. Border now with the race lead and would take the championship lead going into race 2 tomorrow morning here at Monza. Al gets the slipstream and he goes through to take the lead. Top speed this morning in qualifying, 247 kilometres an hour. And with the slipstream, Alex Powell must have been desperately close to that top speed as well. The Jamaican leads, Border back to 2nd. Thomas Stoltemanis up into P3. Davide Ladini is storming back through the field. As we lose Enia Frey, the Swiss driver is out, precariously parked. It looks to be at the exit of Lesmo 2. Double waved yellows only. That's great officiating. Our race director, Mr. Alessandro Ferrari, telling us he'll try and keep it green as long as possible. Olivieri straight through ahead of King Nakamura Berta. One of the most hectic races in recent Formula 4 history. I can tell you the safety car is being scrambled at the moment, but it has stopped at the pit lane exit. We'll try and race it green with the local yellow only into turn 11. Alex Powell has got the race lead, the Mercedes-AMG Junior, looking for his maiden breakthrough victory in Italian Formula 4, and he may just achieve it because the safety car has come out onto the circuit. Eni Affray out of car 22. The Swiss team started with 3, they're down to 1. Alex Powell making the pass on Akshay Bora, and that may have just given the Jamaican, the Mercedes-AMG Junior, his maiden race win in Formula 4. This, the lap prior, Jack Beaton having trouble with the first corner, locking up more than once, conceding the race lead. He is still in position 4. The front just did not turn. Very little front wing on these cars. They're only running with about 3 degrees of wing on the front. Maximum downforce, it's an A5 setting on the rear wing, which in simple terms means it is as flat as, I'll say that again, it is basically horizontal, the rear wing. Yellow flag. So this is now the final lap of the race. Eni Affray's car dragged off the circuit. So we may get a sprint from the final corner, but of course they cannot pass. You look at Ki Nakamura going through in P9 minus his front wing. That move around Akshay Bora in one of the most frantic races in recent European Formula 4 history may have given Alex Powell, multiple WSK International Kart Racing Champion, Vice Champion of the World with the Prema Racing Team at Wackersdorf Pro Kart Raceland in the KZ2 World Championships 12 months ago. Started his car racing career at Misano with 3 second places behind Freddie Slater. Incidentally, Freddie has just dragged himself into 10th place prior to the safety car coming out. Alex Powell, P1, Border second, Stoltemanis third from Jack Beaton. And there is confirmation, race will finish behind the safety car. We can hear you cheering from the other side of the Atlantic. The kid from the Caribbean, the Jamaican Alex Powell has finally, it's long overdue, the Mercedes-AMG Junior just needs to bring it home to take his first victory in Formula 4 car racing. Border will finish second, and Akshay, quickly doing some mathematics, will assume the championship lead going into tomorrow morning's race 2. Freddie Slater gets a single point. He just got by Andrea Kostic. There will be 1 point separating Akshay Bora and Freddie Slater going into tomorrow morning's penultimate race of the Euro 4 Championship. 96 points to 95 between Akshay and Freddie. So that single pass, that single position, remember Freddie, somewhat bizarrely for the multiple champion that he is, going around in the Rocha chicane by himself, scrapes back to get a single point, taking Andrea Kostic on the final lap before we went green. Out front, Alex Powell goes down the back straight behind the safety car. Not the way he probably envisaged taking his first ever car racing win, but he'll take it all the same. He cannot be beaten. The race will finish behind the safety car. Powell Border, Thomas Stoltemanis, former Rotax Grand Finals champion of the world, will finish in P3. Jack Beaton, lucky to bring it home in 4th place after a messy race. He was dominating, but that checkered flag will wave for the first time in his car racing career. The Mercedes-AMG Junior. It is the Jamaican sensation, Alex Powell, who has finally taken victory in Formula 4. Border home in 2nd place and takes the championship lead by a single point over Freddie Slater going into tomorrow morning's race 2. Thomas Stoltemanis, there is car 33, the highly rated Latvian, the young rookie finally getting it together. He is an outstanding talent. Two Prema drivers on the podium, split by Akshay Border. Freddie Slater across the line in P10. There's the race winner. Alex Powell, racing largely in the Florida Winter Tour in the early stages of his career. That was in the late 2000 teens. Making his debut in the WSK World Kart Racing competition. It was the final cup at Lonato. South Garda Karting in 2000 and I want to say 17 or 18 with the Energy Corsa team, but he's finally broken on through. He takes his maiden victory. He takes the rookie race as well, but it's P1 outright for the Mercedes AMG Junior. Border second. Stoltemana's beaten incredibly, comes home P4. Dion Gauda, great drive from Dion. Yamakoshi still in the title fight. Olivieri, Enzo Ye, Nakamura Berta, Freddie Slater P10. And that single point may prove to be absolutely invaluable going into the final race tomorrow afternoon. Kostic just misses the point, stars Andrea. The remaining Jensen Motorsport car, Ethan Isha, Kabir Anoda. Good try from the Singaporean ahead of Johansson, who came into this race still fourth in the series. He finishes 14th. Aurelia Nobels keeps her nose clean. She comes home 15th. From the American, Everett Stack, Lynn Hodenius, Larini finishes down in 18th with the fastest lap of the race, though. Out, Maxim Ren, the pole sitter. His teammates, Robinson, Pradell, Luca Vistoriano, Reno Francot, and Luca Samalisto. Here are the points, and boy, is it tight. Just a single point separating Akshay Bora and Freddie Slater. Yamakoshi, 5 points off the championship lead. Thomas Stoltemanis mathematically can still take the title, but realistically, it is between Bora, Slater, Hiyu Yamakoshi. 96 points to Akshay Bora, 95 to Freddie, and Hiyu Yamakoshi, 91. Thomas Stoltemanis, fourth overall, the first of the rookies. Nakamura Bertha, second of the rookies, sixth outright, eighth outright, and third rookie, but P1 here today. It's the Mercedes AMG Junior. It's the Jamaican, Alex Powell, finally wins in Formula 4. Long overdue is this victory. Celebrating with the Prema Racing Team, Formula Mans 24-hour winner Loic Duval congratulates the driver he's been working with. Surely down there somewhere will be his parents, John and Claudia, and his sisters watching on from the other side of the Caribbean as well. Alex Powell, a race winner in Formula 4. Finally. Takes the victory, does. Alex Powell will try and get a word with the race winner in just a moment. It has been a long time coming. A superstar of WSK World Kart Racing. Debut season in car racing, the Mercedes AMG Junior. Multiple podiums, and finally, he takes the victory. Alex Powell speaking to Laura Cola.
First victory for you, a very tough race, but you did amazing.
Yeah, thank you very much. It was the craziest race of my life, to be honest. First time, of course, racing in Monza this morning was the first time driving here in the dry. So it was just a completely new experience, but it's so amazing, especially to win at home because I've been living here for the last 5 years. It's an unbelievable feeling. So yeah, I mean, I can't thank everyone enough for all their hard work this season. It's been difficult at times, but we've bounced back so well this weekend. It's been a long time coming.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
The highlights of one of the most outrageously frantic races we've seen in recent Formula 4 history. Lynn Hodenius, first of all, stalling on the grid. He was avoided by the rest of the pack of the US racing drivers. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then this happened. Beaton and Pradell, the two countrymen, the two teammates touched as Akshay Bora locked up into turn 1. Maxim Rem with the race lead. The safety car was soon out onto the circuit for this multi-car pile-up. eliminating Robertson, Samalisto and Reno Francot. A 12-minute safety car period at the restart. The US racing drivers 3 wide at well over 230 kilometres an hour down the main straight. Jack was gone. Slater going around by himself into the Rocha chicane. An uncharacteristic error, the first we've seen of the Englishman in 2024. Maxim ran from pole position, ended the race, unfortunately, in the gravel after starring in qualifying this morning. Jack Beaton struggling to turn in to the first chicane multiple times and then finally going straight on ahead. Ledini going around would storm back to 18th with fastest lap of the race. Jack Beaton would come home P4, again struggling to turn in at the first chicane. Alex Powell was making his way on through and made the move on Akshay Bora, the new championship leader. It is the Jamaican who wins. The Mercedes-AMG Junior finally takes victory in Formula 4. So Thomas will come out onto the podium to stand on on podium step 3. Thomas Dolchemanis, highly rated young Latvian driver, the young rookie. Akshay Bora, he is the new championship leader by a single point. And the Jamaican, yeah, we can finally call him an American. The American-born Jamaican, P1 here at Monza. Mr. Giancarlo Minardi to present the third place trophy to Thomas Dolchemanis, the new championship leader, Akshay Bora, by a single point over Freddie Slater. And for the first time, the Mercedes-AMG Junior, Alex Powell, takes victory in Formula 4. Just a single point now separating Akshay Bora, Freddie Slater, and Hio Yamakoshi just 5 points off the series lead. Race 2 tomorrow morning here at Monza at 8:30 local time, and we decide the Euro 4 Series Championship in 24 hours from now. Thanks for watching. We'll see you tomorrow morning for Race 2 live from Monza.